Pat, welcome back. It's good to see you, man. I guess just what's this last 3 weeks been like? How hard is that? I know when you came back from the knee injury, you were like saying that you felt as good as ever. You were happy to be back. To have that injury happen so quickly afterward, kind of did that get you down for a while? Like, what was that last 3 weeks like?
Grinding per usual. I mean, it's part of the game. It's been a year where injuries have played a part. But me, trust the work and fortunate to be back earlier than I'm supposed to, and fortunate to come back and get a win for sure.
I should probably know the answer to this, what you're going to say, but do you play with any extra hesitancy, just having two injuries that soon, that close back to back, or
ain't no turn off of me. I play one way. I play hard as fuck. And that's it.
Thank you, Pat.
No problem. Good to see you too, baby.
Good to see you.
Thanks. We'll go to Tomer.
Hey, Pat. I echo Andrew's sentiment. Good to see you back.
What up?
I'm curious, with 6 games left, like from your perspective, do you feel like you guys have enough time to gel on the court, considering all the injuries you guys have had throughout the year?
Yeah. I don't think it's just got to play hard as fuck. That's it. We got to come out with a defensive mindset all the time and kind of try to find our identity and who we want to be every night. Of course, every game presents something different, but from the get go to the end, we have to be a defensive mindset team, whether whoever we're playing.
What have you made of Reggie? He's made a lot of starts throughout the year due to injuries, but he's been pretty fantastic. Just what have you thought about his play throughout the year?
He's been holding the fort down for sure. In my absence, we text back and forth. Just love what he's been giving to the team, energy-wise. Just want to keep it going for sure.
Thanks, Pat.
Thanks. Go to Miriam.
Hey, man. Hey, Pat. Welcome back. So, how did you feel out there today?
How'd I look?
Looked all right?
So I felt.
Yeah? Was it exciting to be out there? Do you get butterflies still?
No.
No? Were you happy with how you were able to play? I mean, you guys as a team were sloppy, but that's what, Toronto does to teams.
I wouldn't say sloppy.
No? What word do you use?
We just got, we got guys coming off injury. We're trying to put it all together. We got guys with one unit, other guys with this unit. Kawhi, second game back, my first game back. So we're just trying to put it all together. Not sloppy, though.
Okay. Just process.
No.
No?
No, those are your words.
Okay. So put it all together is.
I just did.
Okay. Put it all together. That's your word.
Yeah, we just got to continue to build.
All right. Build. I like it. Build. We'll use that. Thank you.
Thanks. Go over to Law.
Pat, good to see you, man. You came off the bench today. We haven't seen you off the bench all season, and you got to play with Rondo, which is the first time that you guys were on the court in the game setting. What was that like playing with Rondo and playing off the bench and playing a little bit more off the ball?
Oh, different, but me, I can play with any unit. Just trying to get my legs under me in the beginning before I get, thrown in the fire. But that's what the game presents, and me, I'm a team player, whatever it takes.
You complimented Reggie on how well he's been starting. Do you have a preference as far as when you play, as far as starting or coming off the bench?
I just got to get my legs up under me, and that's going to take a process. So don't need to rush anything.
Good to see you, man.
Thanks. Take one last question from Cam.
It was good. Welcome back, Pat. How you doing?
I'm well. Thank you.
Man, you had a couple 3-pointers. It seemed like they were leaving you open. They must have forgot you won a 3-point shooting contest a few years ago,
huh? I don't know. Don't say anything. Let them keep leaving me open.
Okay, so the challenges while you were out, how did you see the team that you needed to? What spark did you need to give the team while you were out, kind of watching the team, traveling with them? What did you see that you needed to give them to help them reach your guys' ultimate goal?
Approach. Sometimes you get carried away by the opponents you're playing, and you think that don't get it twisted. It's always fortunate to get wins in this league, but to go to the place where we want to go, our mentality and approach has to be different. And when you play teams that's not so good, no discredit to any team in the NBA. and you win a lot of games, you think that you're playing well until you play a really good team. And, things that you're not good at seems to jump out the page. So approach, and this is things that we can correct, and mentality, again, something that we can correct. So just about getting guys healthy and, kind of getting back with it, gelling with it, going back over the basics.
Welcome back, big guy. Thank you.
Appreciate it. You guys have a great day.
Have a great night. So,
Hey, Coach, how you doing?
Good.
It seemed like down the stretch of the fourth quarter, rather than play around with the lineups, you went back to the lineup that probably has the most continuity this season. How big was that lineup for you tonight and their continuity overall to get this win?
It was very big, just having those guys back out on the floor. Like you said, just getting the continuity back, understanding the plays we're trying to run. And, I felt the need to get those guys back on the floor early. So it kind of hurt us when PG got his second foul in the first quarter. We was out there playing with a unit that we haven't played with before. And, just they just try to figure it out, with Kawhi being on the minute restriction. So, third quarter and starting the fourth, I didn't want to go back to that lineup. So, I brought Kawhi back to start the fourth, played the 3 minutes, and then brought PG back just so we can kind of just keep some kind of continuity on the floor.
Thank you.
thanks. We'll go to Claudia.
Hey, Ty, Subak has become a good shot blocker. How much do you expect that part of his game improve in these next games and going into the playoffs?
I think he needs to block more shots. He needs to block more shots. I'm serious too, and I get on him every day. But he does a good job, like I said, of verticality and being in the right place. But he needs to block more shots. That's my personal opinion.
Thank you.
Thanks. We'll go to Farbod.
Hey, Coach, congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Kawhi only took 6 shots today. Do you think it was a fatigue thing, or was he just trying to ease back into it? What did you see from him where he was a little bit more passive on his shot selection?
No, I think, they came into the game, they decided they were going to let PG and Kawhi play. And that's what we talked about at halftime, is that, they're going to double team and triple team and jump the game up, playing triangle and 2 and boxing 1. Then we just got to move the basketball, make a simple play. And I thought PG down the stretch really did that. I mean, they blitzed him. He hit Zoo, 4 or 5 times in the pocket. Zoo made the right play. PG's big block at the end, the big charge. He was phenomenal down the stretch. So, teams are not going to let him play some nights. And if they do that, we got to be willing to move the ball, share the ball, and make the right play.
Thanks. Go to Mason.
Hey, Coach. So you went with Pat off the bench for his first game back, and Pat was talking earlier about how it's kind of helping him get more comfortable, get back into his rhythm. Is it still in flux who's going to end up being the starting point guard, and how do you like Pat with that second unit?
We're just going to try to, see what fits, who fits with who, and we got to move some guys around. I just thought it was great to have Pat back on the floor. Like I said, his intensity, like I said, driving, making the right play, catching goals when teams are double teaming, not just selling for the 3, putting it back down and making a play for your teammate. He did that a couple of times. And like I said, just his pace, on both sides of the floor. So it was great to have him. Like I said, we're just going to try different lineups until we figure out, what works best for this team. And, we just kind of go from there.
Thanks. Go over to Helene.
Hi, Ty. Just looking ahead a little bit, your next game coming up is against the Lakers. And as the standings are right now, that could be a first-round playoff matchup. Is that something that you consider at all in your planning for this game? Or is it just, getting your lineup set and all that kind of stuff?
Just working on us, just like trying to get our good habits back. Now we have everyone healthy, working on our rotations, who meshes well together. So the biggest thing for me is just, working on ourselves. It's not about playing the Lakers and who we play in first round. We need to get our stuff right. So that's the main focus right now.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks. We have time for 2 more. We'll take one from Tomer.
Hey, Ty, with the just to follow up on Law's question, is there a path, do you think, to Reggie starting, or do you think throughout the playoffs maybe it could be depending on whether you need shooting or more pace? How do you view that kind of thing?
I go on matchups and just feel for the game. If something we got to make an adjustment, then we got to do that. It is matchup driven. That's kind of how I coach in the playoffs. So, we don't know who we're going to play first round, but just working on different stuff so guys are comfortable playing on the floor with different combinations. And like I said, it's the first time that we've had our whole team back outside of Surge, with the addition of Rondo, with the addition of Cousins. And so we're just trying to figure it out right now and, what's best for us, going forward.
Are there any more combinations you'd like to try out as the season?
Well, with Kawhi being on the minute restriction, I like playing PG more with that second unit. But now with this happening, PG's have to play the whole first quarter. Now Kawhi comes back in with the second unit, and I'd rather switch that up. But with the minute restriction, it's kind of tough right now.
Got it. Thank you.
And Law, you can take the last one.
So last game, Saturday night, you mentioned that you felt like Kawhi kind of eased into that game, took his time getting himself comfortable, first game back in a few weeks, this, that, and the third. Tonight, he dominated. It seemed like he dominated the game in his minutes by taking 6 shots. So what were your takeaways from how he approached tonight's game, especially in the second half, versus what you saw from him in his return Saturday night?
Well, they just, said tonight they're not going to let him play. And I thought he did a great job of, trying to play with pace. And I thought he did a good job of making the right pass and the right play for his teammates. And, when teams, are going to do that, then we got to make them pay, and having 28 assists and, making 15 threes is because they decided to double team PG and double team Kawhi and not let those guys play. But we still got to keep getting better at it and continue to keep trusting.
Thanks, Coach. That's all I got for you tonight.
All right. Thank you.
Have a good night.
Hey, Kawhi, obviously you had that one season playing next to Fred VanVleet and those guys. What has stood out to you about the way Fred has developed, or not developed, but I guess improved his game over the last couple seasons?
I mean, he's just more aggressive on the floor. He always had game, going both ways, shooting the ball both directions. And he's just getting more of an opportunity now.
Thanks. We'll go over to Nick Hamilton.
Hey, Kawhi, congrats on the game. I want to switch it up just away from basketball. It was recently released that you're working on a music project called Culture Jam. Just wanted to get how long has that project been in the works, and what made you decide to work on that project?
It just merges basketball and music together. I mean, it's always been something on my mind that I wanted to do. So, it's just something that could uplift our community. And, a portion of each stream is going to go to the Mamba and Mamacita Foundation. And, it's just something good for the community, you know what I mean? I've been working on a project probably for the last 6, 7 months, 8 months.
Thanks. Go over to Cam.
Hey, Kawhi. Welcome back. Hello? Can you hear me?
Now I can. You got cut out for a second.
I apologize. Kawhi, I want to ask you about your former teammate, Pascal Siakam, and his emergence. Can you speak to that? Did you see him flourishing like this?
Yeah, I mean, he was doing it when I was there. In that second half of the season for us, being very aggressive, attacking the rim, making shots, making big on both ends of the floor. He's a two-way player.
Thanks.
Thanks. Go over to Law.
Hey, Kawhi, Saturday night, Zai said that it felt like you were kind of easing your way into the game against the Nuggets. And tonight, you only had 6 shot attempts, but really played a great game out there, especially in the second half. Just wanted to know from you, how you felt about, taking what the defense was giving you and your approach being selective tonight compared to Saturday night.
I mean, I pretty much played the similar game. If they're going to play defense like that, then, I have to trust my teammates and, make the right play every time. It's not about me. It's about the whole group. And, that's how you win. You need everybody, like I said before. Guys stepped up tonight on double teams, and, it was boxing one in me and PG, and they made shots. Played a good game.
Just a quick follow on that. When it comes to those teammates, Reggie started tonight. He had a big game, especially late. Bev came back, and you've been a great advocate for Rondo all season. That's 3 different ball handling small guards. Like, how do you see yourself kind of fitting in with all those guys and supporting them as you guys are getting ready for the playoffs?
Just like we did tonight, just play my role. They can handle the ball. And, I could play off the ball. So if they're attacking the paint, be ready to shoot and make the next play. It's simple.
Actually, it's got time for 2 more. We'll go to Miriam.
Hey, Kawhi. Speaking of the full team, you guys are getting closer. Got Pat Bev back tonight, and obviously you came back a couple nights ago. How's that process feeling, and what did you think of, or what did you make of Pat Bev out there tonight? His contribution.
Man, in short stints, he was great. He brought energy on the defensive end. He made his shots. If a shot wasn't there, he attacked the paint. He passed it to open shooters, and he played the right way tonight.
Thanks. Take the last one from Tomer.
Well, I'm just curious in terms of how much basketball you consume, like especially this late in the season. With standings and seedings getting super close. Like, what is your perspective on that? Do you pay attention to that kind of thing?
Right now, just got to take whatever's in front of us. You know what I mean? You got to be a good team to win a championship. And, obviously the first seed gives you a better opportunity. But, I'm not wishing and hoping we get to a certain spot. I'm just focused on ourselves right now and making sure we come out of the regular season the best team.
Thank you, Kawhi.
Thank you, sir. Have a great night. Thank you for your time.
Hey, PG. Ty talked a lot about how the Raptors did a really good job of denying you and Kawhi the ball and box and one and blitzing pick and roll and just keeping the ball out of your hands a lot. How do you combat that personally when a team is just making sure you don't get to touch the ball too much?
You just rely on your teammates. Teammates pick you up. They're gonna take me out the game, take Kawhi out the game. That's the reason our team is so deep, and it's why this team is so deep, and we're so great with our depth. We just had a lot of guys that made shots tonight, and was able to make plays.
Let's go to Shane Young.
Hey, PG. Watching your pick and roll connection with Zoo this year has been fascinating. And you've had a few really good pick and roll big men throughout your career, whether it was D West, Roy Hibbert, Steven Adams. I'm curious how your growth with Zoo has felt to you since you joined the team and that dynamic.
The growth's been good. I think it's just, you forget how young Zoo is. He's still young, so he's learning on the fly. And he's going to continue to get better. I'm going to continue to get better with him. And I'm going to get better in the pick and rolls. Every team guards it, a little differently. Every coverage is a little different. I think our growth is going to come when we can just read right away how they're guarding the pick and rolls, and we can just execute on the fly.
Thanks. Go over to Helene.
Hi, just curious, your next game coming up is against the Lakers. The way the standings are right now, it's a 3-6, and you would meet in the first round. Do you think about that at all, or is there still too many moving parts and things could change before the season ends?
Yeah, it's too much going on. It's too much going on. It's still 6 games left. We're still trying to move up. Regardless of what the Lakers are doing, we're worried about us and where we can position. It's not like we're complacent where we're at. So it's too much going on.
Andrew, you can go ahead.
Paul, obviously Ty said these next 2 weeks there's going to be a process of experimenting with lineups to see what works best. But even in this kind of first game back with the roster pretty much entirely healthy with Pat back, did you see any sort of shades of the team that had been playing when Pat was healthy before the knee injury? Do you see any kind of shades of the old roster that was really clicking after the All-Star break?
Yeah, there were flashes of it. But Pat first game back. He's gonna get his rhythm, his timing, just with our group. Where he can make his mark defensively. I thought offensively he was great. Defensively he was great, but you can tell it's just getting his feet back under him and just getting into the flow of things. But I thought, outside of just our energy to start the game. And throughout the game, I thought, our energy could have just been a little higher. But, I thought defensively we made it tough on them. They made some big shots. They made some big plays. We had some, sloppy possessions. But, I thought we looked good as a group.
Thanks, Paul.
We go to Tomer.
Hey, Paul, bit of a two-parter here. You guys had Pat, Bev, Rondo, and DeMarcus on the court today. That's a hell of a feisty lineup there. What did you think of them out there?
Yeah, it's great. It's a tough group right there. That's a battle-tested group. They look great out there together.
Do you have any? Obviously, you and Ty and Kawhi all talk, but input on in terms of lineups that you want to try working with and guys you want to try playing with on the court, or how does that conversation work with Ty?
That's T. Lue decision. Obviously he'll let us know what's going on lineup wise, but he puts the lineups together and we roll with it.
Got it. Thank you.
Thanks. Go to Law.
Boss, you guys are just missing really one core piece of the group. You mentioned early in the season having Serge was going to be something that opens things up for you. You've never really played with a pick and pop five before this season, and obviously he hasn't been around on the court for 2 months. Off the court, how has he been supporting you specifically as well as the team? And how do you feel like he's getting closer in terms of returning on the court for this team?
He's just still staying involved. He's still communicating with the group. He's still engaged in games. And he's still very much part of this team. Even when we're on the road and he stays behind to train and rehab, he's still tweeting, texting, our chat, and, kind of letting us know he's still supporting, he's still there for us, he's still communicating with us. So, we're not rushing him. We understand the severity of the injury and his rehab. We're with him when he's available and when he's ready to go. We support him through this whole process.
Thanks. We got two more for you. Go to Cam.
Hey, PG, I like how you're leaning into these cornrows, Chief. Good work out of you. Hey, what do you, in your opinion, what do you guys need to kind of shore up as you move into the final games of the season? What would you like to see the team improve upon?
I think just our approach. I think, can just be a little better. And that's about it. We got, that alone take care of everything else in our team. We have an unbelievable team. But I think we just got to, start games off better. And, we start games off better, that'll carry over throughout the whole game.
When you say approach, are you talking being more aggressive, being more locked in? Kind of what exactly do you mean by approach?
Yeah, I think just aggressive, aggressive on our offense and defense. I think we can be the team that, was in the air and tip off, that we just can just intimidate a team just with, our pressure, our intensity, our personnel, and just take teams right out from jump.
Thanks, Chief.
Thanks. And the last one we'll take from Farbot.
Hey, PG, sorry if the internet's a little bad over here. You got the gaming community talking a bit today with your new PG5, PS5 shoes. How cool was it for you to get those shoes, and what was that process like?
Yeah, it's awesome, to be on my fifth shoe and still have the partnership with Nike and PlayStation. It's still unbelievable, just on the fact alone that the PG2s is what got us to this point here, to have another, collaboration. So it's awesome that they did so well. You know, we made the PG2s, then we did 3 colors in the PG 2.5s. And here we are, you know, hopefully it's an ongoing relationship, and you know, it just becomes a staple colorway for my line down the road.
All right, thank you, sir. Have a great night.